Hello, this is Joshua for Frost Dragon Designs, and today I'd like to talk to you about my Mothman Cat Hard Enamel pin. This pin is part of my monthly Cute Cat Pin Club. Every month, members of the club get a new cute cat pin sent to them directly in the mail. If you join the club anytime in August of 2024, the first pin you'll receive is the Mothman Cat. Now, let's get into the design. I'm going to start by saying that cryptids and cryptozoology are fairly interesting from the standpoint of they're kind of like modern day mythology. I'm not sure how many people believe or think these things are real necessarily. Just like I'm not sure how many people back in ancient times thought that, Medusa or the Chimera were actually real, or were they just, creatures from legend? I'm not sure. But I do think it's an interesting parallel. People always like to ascribe things that are difficult to explain or things that are a little scary as being paranormal or supernatural. And so I think a lot of those cryptids kind of start out like that. The Loch Ness Monster, the photos, those could be driftwood that's kind of just in the water. Bigfoot could be bears or, other hunters and trappers. Mothman is an interesting one, though. So Mothman originated, my understanding, in the Point Pleasant area of West Virginia in the mid-1960s. Some individuals claimed that they saw very large bird-like humanoids with a 7-foot wingspan and eyes that were glowing bright red like bicycle reflectors. And honestly, that sounds terrifying. People now think that what it actually was out of migratory season cranes. Cranes are huge birds. If you've ever seen a crane up close, like some species of crane are quite large. And they can have very vividly red eyes. And I suppose under certain lighting conditions, you might not really be able to see what exactly it is that's there. And so I can see how with certain light or shadow situations, seeing a giant bird with red eyes, you might mistake it for some sort of a humanoid creature. And so I think that's probably what happened. Now, what's interesting with the naming convention, though, is, it was reported as a bird-like humanoid creature, yet it's called the Mothman, and it now has some moth-like appearance things. And to my understanding, that is because in the mid-70s, John Keel wrote the book Mothman Prophecies and linked this sighting to a number of other things, including the collapse of the Silver Bridge, which killed a number of people. And so the book, ties these things together and tries to say these things are related. It's spooky stuff happening here. And so that kind of local legend of the bird-like creature, now gets the name Mothman because of Mothman Prophecies. And so that's, just kind of how it rose to popularity. And I think in the early 2000s, there was a movie for Mothman Prophecies. I've never seen it, but I believe that's around when it was released. But so that's why, despite having the name Mothman, why it's often depicted as having bird-like wings. I chose not to go the bird-like wing route. I wanted to do actual moth wings because I wanted to have little moth antenna. Moth antenna are so cute. They're so fuzzy. Honestly, I really enjoy the look of a lot of moths. I think they're cute, especially, considering they're insects, and I generally do not find insects cute. Moths can be quite cute. And so when I decided that I was going to do a Mothman Cat, I decided to take that more literally based on the name than on the origin of the cryptid. So this isn't so much about the original Mothman, the bird-like creature. This is literally like a moth cat. Obviously I kept a similar color scheme as Mothman has, black, dark gray, bright red, round eyes. That's really fun. Originally, the eyes for this pin were going to be glitter, but there was a miscommunication during manufacturing, so they did not get glitter for the eyes, which I think is kind of a shame. If I ever do a restock of this, I might try to have those done with glitter like my original intention was. We'll just have to see. That's kind of a who knows into the future kind of question, though. But since this is basically my second cat-insect hybrid, the first one obviously being the bumble cat, as you've seen, I basically took the body of the Bumble Cat and started making modifications to it, because the pose is great for an insectoid cat with wings. It's for any cat with wings, honestly, because where the wings would attach behind the shoulder blades, the cat would kind of hang down like when you pick up a cat under their arms, under their front paw, armpit, whatever we call that area. So the pose just naturally lent itself to it. And I thought that it would be really cute to mirror that same pose that I used for the Bumble Cat and just flip it so that they could be facing each other. If you happen to own a Bumble Cat and you get your Mothman Cat, they can, stare at each other on your pinboard or your jacket or your bag or whatever. I think that the reason that I enjoy this Mothman Cat design so much, though, is really because of the color scheme. The dark color for most of it, the gray tuft on the tail and for the chest looks really cute. That almost pops, but doesn't quite. It still kind of recedes into the background. But the eyes, they really catch your attention. And I think even at a glance, you'll be like, oh, what is that? And then you'll look a little closer and then, see the rest of the design. And I kind of like how, at a glance, the eyes catch your attention and then the rest of the silhouette kind of, you start trying to make sense of it. And what I love about that concept is that's kind of how the Mothman started. I imagine that whoever saw the original, crane and mistook it for a 7-foot Birdman, they probably saw the eyes standing out of shadows and then tried to make sense of the rest of the silhouette. And that's how, at least I, experience this pin when I look at it. So I think that that's particularly fun just because it kind of links back to the origins. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed watching me design this pin and hear me talk about it a little bit. If you did, please go ahead, like, and subscribe. I try to release 1 to 2 new design videos every week, and I would love to have you along for the next one. Thank you so much again for your time, and have a great rest of your day.